For the foreseeable future, the disclaimer of this channel is going to be there is a baby next to me. So any baby noises you hear, it's just my newborn son.
It's okay.
If you are not new here, then you know back in like 2018, early 2019 is when I started learning how to code. I do not feel like doing that math in my head because I just don't feel like it. It was years ago that I started learning how to code. If you are new here, hello, my name is Jess. Thank you so much for being here. I create content about tech, a little bit of lifestyle, and just my overall life in vlog form, getting through this tech industry as a mom and wife. So if you're interested in that, stick around, go look at some previous videos if you have any questions on how to learn how to code on your own. That's mostly what my videos are about. So like I was saying, about 2019 is when I started to really hone in on learning the languages, figuring out that I wanted to be a web developer, just all of those things, really starting to learn like HTML and CSS, things like that. And at the time I was broke. I had no money coming in. I was not working. I was pregnant with our second child, getting ready to have her, but I also had my oldest child at home with me because she wasn't even in school yet. So outside of her going to spend time with my grandmother who was living at the time and Keith's grandmother, she was with us. So stay-at-home mom is basically what I was doing. Keith took on a sacrifice, and I keep saying Keith, if you're new here, I'm sorry, that's my husband, but he took on the sacrifice of taking care of our family so that I could sit there and like study and figure it out and become a web developer. So before I got my first tech role in the tech industry as a front-end web developer, I wasn't making money and I was stressed out. So if I would have known the things that I know now about just how much I could have done with just the HTML and CSS knowledge that I had back then, I could have been making my own money. And it's crazy to think because maybe my route into the tech industry could have changed possibly as well. And we'll get into that a little bit more as I go down this list of things that I have thought about now that I could have done back then. So this video is for you if you are in the beginning stages of learning how to code, you understand HTML and CSS, you don't have to be even that great at it, but you want to look for ways to make some extra money on the side, or maybe just start getting your hands on with experience applying those two knowledge bases, HTML, CSS, while you're learning like JavaScript or Python or whatever language you're picking up after that. So without further ado, here are my list of things that I feel like you can possibly try your hand at to make a little bit of money or maybe even a lot of bit of money depending on how you apply these things while you're learning how to code early on in your coding journey. So the number one thing I want to talk about is web design. This is something that I'm actually tapping into right now. This is something that I had no idea I could apply these things to years ago when I was talking about when I started learning how to code. Now, if you're not familiar with actually what web design is more along the lines of you design a website, right? You get in something like Figma or Adobe XD or Illustrator or wherever you design your projects. It could be Canva if that's your thing. You design a website, you do the wireframe, the mock-up, the branding, you get the color palettes together, whatever that looks like for you, and then you go and build the website. Now, the reason I say HTML and CSS can come into play with this is because typically web design is utilized with designers using things like Squarespace, WordPress, Shopify, a new platform or a newer than those, I think, platform called Show It, which is absolutely amazing. I love that so much. Wix, those type of platforms, they will apply those designs to that instead of having to learn how to hard code things and like code from the ground up with all these, tech stacks. But the reason HTML and CSS are very helpful, and I feel like any web designer should know about those, is because you can add custom CSS to make your templates and websites stand out even more, or add special effects to your websites outside of what comes in the box for these platforms like Wix, WordPress, etc. And then HTML comes into play because you actually understand the elements, you understand the structure of a website, how it's supposed to flow from an actual, development standpoint, and understanding things like classes and IDs so that you can even target those things when it comes to the CSS and adding your customizations. So with web design, oh my gosh, you can make so much money if you do it the right way, because you can charge. I don't want to go into the breakdowns, but there is a lot of ways to structure that to become your own freelance web designer and create your own web design agency. You can charge quite a bit of money for people who are wanting to focus more on their business. They don't want to get into the technical spaces. If you niche down to you can niche down to anything. You can do websites for lawyers or real estate agents or people in the wellness and fitness spaces. be endless, and you can become that person that specializes in those websites for those particular people, and now you have like this endless pool of people to pull from. So I've heard and seen of people making thousands of dollars a month off of this. Again, everybody's situation is different. Take everything that I'm saying in this video with a grain of salt. You have to be able to apply this knowledge in your own way, and everybody's situation and story looks different. But web design is something I highly recommend taking a look at if you are interested in really more of the design side and wanting to apply, like I said, the knowledge of HTML and CSS. You can still be making some money in that space and learning how to properly craft a website while you're learning how to code and get into those other spaces. So web design is probably at the top of my list because it doesn't take much. You don't have to sit here and code everything from scratch. You don't have to use your boilerplates and use VS Code or anything like that. But you can still get your hands on working with clients, get that experience of how your workflow is going to be if you decide to later on become a freelance developer, where you're actually utilizing all of the technical skills you're learning to do even more custom websites. Then you are practicing other skills, like I said, like finding clients, speaking to clients, finding your workflow with the clients, onboarding and offboarding clients, and just having that actual customer service side of it and soft skills that go along with it. And those things could translate into the job as well if you are going for a role that is more client facing. You can offer more skill sets because now you have experience actually working with the client, but also working on their website. This leads me into the next one, which is freelancing. So you can freelance offering your service to someone who knows HTML and CSS. You do not have to know JavaScript to freelance. There's people that are looking for HTML email templates, which don't require JavaScript. You can build, like I said, you can add your skill set to people who are looking for different components to be worked out on WordPress, or they just want pieces to the puzzle that they already have. So not always do all of these gigs that you see online require you to build out these from the ground up, systems and websites. Sometimes they're just looking for people who can utilize the skill set that you already have, the HTML and CSS, to apply to the project that they already have going on. They just need someone to come in and even really just maintain what's already been built. So to expand upon that, like there are projects that have already been built, and you can be like a web content developer or like a web content manager, where you go in and you don't have to build these things, but you just maintain them. But knowing HTML and CSS is something that will take you a long way because you understand the back end of the things. You understand how and where to place the content in without breaking the code that's existing. So that's another thing that you can look into, is ways to freelance, but only freelancing with your HTML and CSS skills. It doesn't have to be, I'm building a website for this client from the ground up to be able to freelance, if that makes sense. So I already touched on this one briefly, but HTML emails. Let's talk about that a little bit more. So when I worked at the creative agency as a web developer, I was tasked with creating our internal newsletter, which was an email. So it required me to know HTML and CSS. We did not use JavaScript within those emails. So I did need to learn tables though when it comes to HTML. So HTML tables, this is something that I don't see taught a lot in some of the free online resources that I've used. However, with 100 Devs, I'm pretty sure we touched on those. I had already seen them though, like I said. I think Scrimba touches briefly on them. I think whatever resources that are online, they will briefly touch on them because they're not really used in the industry that much anymore. But you might come across some companies that are still utilizing old code or refactoring old code, that it's helpful to know about tables so that you can actually know what's going on and refactor it properly. But again, when it comes to HTML emails, you do have to use tables. So it never hurts to... You can learn how to build HTML emails to, one, get a job. There are HTML email jobs that are out there. You can also utilize it to freelance, to work directly with different clients and different companies where they actually just want you to come on board to specifically craft out their newsletters and make custom, amazing newsletters that are just different from everyone else's. Or you can utilize that skill set to create your own templates to sell to small businesses and other people looking to market their companies through through newsletter emails. Another thing that I thought about that you can do is educating and creating resources. And this is something I thought about because I thought about my own channel. The best way to really know if you understood a topic is to teach it to someone else. If you can break down what you learned to someone else, then you probably have a good grasp on it. So I would think about ways that you can utilize your HTML and CSS skills to turn around and teach other people. So like I said, you can create resources, you can create ebooks, e-guides, you can create how-tos, you can start a platform on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok where you can monetize those platforms. That's a way to make money. And you can do all of it. You can start your platform to market the material that you made, and you can make this stuff so easy. Like I made my first ebook in Canva, and then I put it on a platform called Gumroad, and I think they took like it was a super small fee, but it just wasn't hard. You do the work once and then you put it online and it sells itself as you just create content and talk about it. So those are ways that I wish I would have known about, because it would have been simple for me to create these things as I was learning. Now, of course, when it comes to all of this, you want to make sure that you are not plagiarizing anyone. You are putting everything into your own words, whatever it is that you're learning, making it your own, making it feel like something that actually came from you. But I highly suggest looking at ways that you can turn around the knowledge that you're gaining and give it to someone else, because again, that's also helping you solidify the fact that you even know it and helping you learn even further. This last one I want to talk about is something that I thought about recently, because I had never really heard about it until recently, and it got me to thinking. I'm like, okay, if you know HTML and CSS, you can consult. You know what it takes to build an actual good website if you know HTML, CSS, because HTML is the actual structure of the website, right? That's the actual content that goes onto it. That's what I like to call the bones of the website. So if you understand how a website should flow, semantics of HTML, then you understand what makes a good website. I've seen so many websites that are structured more along the lines of what looks good instead of what actually makes sense for the person visiting. So more along the lines of UX, I guess, user experience. I've seen a lot of websites that are just really graphic heavy, or they're not really optimized to, have good speed. So then people have, they have probably a high bounce rate, or there's like tons of ads popping up everywhere. Just a lot of different things that I feel, just looking at the website, like I'm like, I would make that different based off the knowledge that I have as an actual developer, from an actual developer standpoint. I've seen a lot of websites that look good, and I can tell were created probably along the lines of, hey, these colors look good together, let's just throw these up there. But are they really being created with the thought of accessibility in mind, people with accessibility needs? There's just so many different factors that I feel like as a developer, you have an advantage of knowing and being able to create better websites that actually are to standard. So why not look into consulting? You can be a consultant that goes out and actually audits people's websites and tells them how they can make it better. How can you make this more optimized, make this more of a fast website so your bounce rate is decreased? You can break it down even from a design standpoint or from a creative direction standpoint of like how different pictures play better on the website, because let's be honest, a lot of websites look good because of the quality images, the photography matches, the branding. There's so many different aspects, but I feel like knowing HTML and CSS gives you an advantage of knowing from a developer standpoint how to actually properly consult with a company or a brand or any small business, whatever you want to consult with, to really further break that down and help them understand what makes their website better. So those are some of the things that I thought about as far as how to make money with just HTML and CSS skill sets while you're learning and while you're creating your knowledge base and gaining that knowledge to become a software engineer or a web developer, whichever one you're going after. I highly recommend looking into these, especially if you are not working and you're specifically just learning, because think about it. As you're learning, you have the opportunity to still utilize these skill sets and get more practice with them. You are actually building knowledge and experience while doing these things that you can apply to different things later on once you actually have that full grasp of what it takes to become a software engineer, web developer, whichever one you want to call it. But these are definitely things I wish I would have known about back then when I was struggling, like really struggling. I was pregnant. I had my oldest daughter already, and I needed money. These are ways that I could have done it and looked into it. Now, these things obviously are not going to happen overnight. Some of these things will take time, but you got to get through the day anyway. The time is going to pass anyway, so you may as well put in the effort to try. So If you have any other ideas of how you can make money or you've made money just with HTML and CSS before, please leave it in the comments below, because we are always looking for new ways to find different resources and, get our little tips and tricks in. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, because it does help this channel, but it also lets me know to continue to make content like this for you guys. If you also found it helpful, go ahead and leave a comment below as well. And again, if you are new here, my name is Jessica, or Jess. I create content about tech, lifestyle, my overall life in vlog form as a mother and wife, and just someone navigating this tech industry and really just life overall. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and subscribe and stick around a little while. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I love you guys, you know that, and I will see you in the next one.